Welcome to eLearning Today TV. Today is Friday, July 16th.
One day from Lauren's birthday.
The day before my birthday. Hence the cake instead of the apple. I think we should have cakes more often. It's very pretty.
I like it pink, for sure.
Anyways, I'm Lauren Grossberg.
I'm Andy Keenum.
And we are here to bring you the best from our blog this week in educational technology and e-learning. If you're not following us on Twitter, I'm at LG Educator.
And I am at A. Keenum.
And be sure to check out our website for free teacher and educator resources.
Cool.
All right. This is not a school of the week. It's a feature of the week, but I couldn't figure out how to get the thing to print right, so it says
We're just
school.
an ed tech, podcast here, but we can't print a landscape. We'll figure that one out.
So, this story is very interesting. It comes from USC. They did a study a few years back about robots and teaching children with it. And they focused on autistic children and infants. And they pretty much designed these robots that are very approachable, and they're programmable, and they can teach basic skills. And they use them with autistic children mainly because the children are like not afraid to, interact with them, so they can use them kind of like as a playmate and also as a teacher. And the video in this blog is pretty crazy because you can see the robots teaching them how to do things, and you can also, they learn from you, so they're very it's kind of human. It's like a human pretty much, but it's not, which is crazy.
It's like an overgrown Furby is what
yes, because they can learn extensive knowledge, like foreign languages and stuff. So other countries actually, like in South Korea, they've been using it to actually teach English to the students.
That's awesome.
So that's the next thing, I guess. And a lot of people don't want to use it as the main teacher because there's certain limits that they do have, but they have more patience than humans. So for certain special needs students, it's a good idea to use them for that.
I see. That's cool.
So
last week I said technology is not replacing teachers, but
apparently it is.
Okay, hashtag talk this week. They're trying to come up with the two most important questions that we should address when starting it. I don't know if it started already. I really have no clue. But when starting educational reform, and the two that were suggested is, number one, what is the purpose or mission of education today? And number two, who has the rights and responsibilities to answer that question? But there's a lot of roadblocks in even trying to answer that question. For example, this requires a shared vision. It requires buy-in from all parties, some of which are really scared of change. Right now, education is so closely tied to politics that it's going to be pretty difficult to make any change, and the current pace of change is so long in education. So we started talking a little bit about Sir Ken Robinson and his TED Talk on this. Sir Ken Robinson says we do not need educational reform, we need a learning revolution. He kind of describes what he believes to be the second climate crisis, which is just as urgent as the first, and that's a crisis of human resources. He believes that education is actually dislocating people from their natural talents, as it is right now. And so reform really is just improving a broken model. Teachers need to be able to create the environment for students to really show themselves. So he kind of says that right now we're operating in an industrial model of education, focusing on linearity, conformity, and we need to move to a more agricultural model of education. Quote, human flourishing is not a mechanical process, it is an organic process. He thinks that just like farmers, educators should be able to sort of tweak the conditions under which students can flourish. This is my favorite part from the whole thing, and this is sort of sums up what he believes. Technology combined with extraordinary talents of teachers will revolutionize education. So I think that instead of wasting time trying to come up with questions to answer to fix this system, really we need to be thinking about creating a whole new system.
Okay, watch and learn. This video is about Google Docs, which we use, and pretty much it's just giving you real teacher and student opinions and feedback from using Google Docs in the classroom. And if you don't know what it is, basically it's collaborative editing, sharing. You can put documents on there.
Real time.
And basically the students were just, saying they can work at something from home, they can work it in class, and it'll still be the last edited thing. The teachers can see who's working on what. They can see when they're doing it. Like one of the teachers was talking about how they logged on at 11 at night and they saw two students working on their poetry. So it's showing you that they're still, learning outside the classroom. And it's just a really great tool. What else did they say? A lot of teachers also said it's getting them more excited to learn, like they enjoy using it. So watch that video. It has cool stuff in there.
It actually, the Google Docs, from what I believe to understand from Google, is that teachers who have Google Reader can actually subscribe to their students' Google Docs. So as it's updated, as their files are updated, they'll get the most recent
sneaky
files. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of Big Brother, but. Oh, teach this. This week I want to talk a little bit more about Web 3.0, networked literacy, and information fluency. A lot of big words.
Yes.
But students are no longer just reading content on the web. That's Web 1.0. They're no longer just interacting with content on the web. That's Web 2.0. They're creating the web as they hope it to be, Web 3.0. In the new Web 3.0, users are no longer just on the web, but of the web. A lot of this comes from the Angela Myers presentation I went to at ISTE. It was called 21 Things About 21st Century Teaching and Learning.
Right.
And she says that we are building a community and working together to filter through and find meaning in all the information online. We need to incorporate numerous forms of literacy in our literacy development for our kids. Not just print literacy anymore, but digital literacy and networked literacy. This is the idea of how people and communication networks work. One example of this would be what it means to follow someone or to have someone follow you back, or how to read a hyperlinked text article. These are things that we're not teaching our kids that they absolutely need to know to be successful. With digital community and this new virtual canvas in mind, we are reading differently, listening differently, writing differently, researching differently. We are in a constant state of information curation. You said a few weeks ago that if we put in books our current digital output, it would reach from here to Pluto 13 times.
No biggie.
D-force the planet 12 times.
No biggie.
Right? So kids need to be able, they cannot do it alone. They need to be able to know how to use their network to collect, sort, aggregate, and share information to really get their message across. So.
All right. E-freebies. This week I found, I think five Web 2.0 tools. They're all kind of random. There's not really a category.
I love them.
So
They're awesome.
the first one's called Cacoo. Cacoo. However you want to pronounce that. Basically, you can create diagrams and maps and charts, and you can collaborate on these too, and you can embed them into your blogs or your site. So it's just another form for making such tools like that. Word Steps is an online flashcard site where it also has exercises on there, and these are especially great for English language learners. I think it's available in 6 languages. So, and they have cool facts there, like that if you learn 2,000 foreign words, you know enough for 95% of like everyday conversation in that whatever language, which is really cool. The next one, Kobo Cards, is also a flashcard site, but you can create your own, and this also has collaboration on there, so you and somebody on the other side of the world can be making something. You could split it into question and answers, and you could add comments, and you can also I think you can embed those too. So that's a cool one. Oh, and that one has an iPhone app. So
cool.
You can be always learning vocabulary. The next one's called Like It, Tweet It. And this is a widget that basically sends your tweet. You don't have to leave the site. If you're on a site and you think it's really cool and you want to share it, you could there's a little box and you just type whatever you want and it sends right out. You don't have to log in, log out.
Yeah, and that's so cool because unlike Hootsuite, you have to have a Hootsuite account and a Twitter account.
Right.
It seems like with that, you just need a Twitter account.
Yep.
That's awesome.
And the last one's called Answer Garden, and this is like a polling comment system. And basically, it's if you want to get feedback on your blog or your site or whatever, you type in a question and it'll give you a code, and you can just embed that right into your site. And then as people visit it and comment and give you feedback, it'll form like a visual
cloud.
Yeah, like a cloud of all the feedback.
That's
so hopefully it's good.
Good feedback.
But
that's awesome. No, it reminded me of Wall Wisher.
Yeah.
It's with Wall Wisher, you actually have to go to a different site.
Right.
But the great thing about Answer Garden is that you can embed it directly in your blog and get your feedback right there.
Yep.
So what do you know?
I know that the actor Tom Hanks is a distant relative of Abraham Lincoln.
Nice.
Apparently,
I had an awesome Abe Lincoln quote this week.
Third cousin, 4 times removed through his mom, Nancy Hanks Lincoln.
Nice.
So.
Wait a minute, third cousin?
He's third cousin,
Oh,
4
wow.
times removed.
That's awesome.
So, what do you know?
Oh, A microwave can disrupt your Wi-Fi signal. And this was freaking me out because my Wi-Fi signal has been acting shoddy. If your Wi-Fi,
Have you been microwaving?
Yes. If your microwave is within 3 meters of your, I guess, your router, and you have a kind of not a very strong signal, it can happen. And now, if it happens often, it means that your microwave might be emitting too much radiation.
That's not good.
No, so you need a new microwave. But that's what I know. If you like our show, give us 5 stars on iTunes, and don't forget to follow us on Twitter. I'm at Akina.
I'm an LG educator.
See you later, and happy birthday, Lauren.